You know, my dad was an Air Force general and we traveled all over the world. And the reason they bought this house when I was just a couple of years old, and my brother and I, is because they wanted us to have roots, because most military families didn't have roots. And my mother was from Meridian, Mississippi, and used to come down to the coast when she was a child, and she remembered how beautiful this town was. So they drove through it in 1950, and they saw this house for sale. And it was for sale by owner. The granddaughter of the owner had inherited it, and it had stood vacant for years. And she was asking a lot of money for it. My parents couldn't afford it, so they found her. They drove up, you know, the young officer and his wife and 2 babies in the back seat asleep. They couldn't afford the price she was asking. But they said, we'll buy it for $15,000 and we'll pay you $100 a month until we pay it off. Will that work for you? And she was so charmed by them and their naivete. She said, okay. And that's how they bought it. And interestingly enough, my parents had paid it off 6 months before my dad was killed in a plane crash. I think the reason why the house meant so much to me is because we weren't always here. We would always look forward to coming here. We'd come here for Christmases and summer vacations. If my dad was stationed someplace that wasn't ideal for us to move with him, we'd come here. So having those years to stay here made me appreciate it even more, because we had a house for exactly the reason he hoped, although he wanted to retire here. But the other military families involved in the crash didn't have permanent homes to go to. So Pasquishan has always been kind of the go-to place to celebrate family, and it served as a real safety net when my dad was killed. So that's why I worked so hard to get it back. And that's why it meant so much to me to not have it torn down. But looking at these pictures, I must have been insane. I think I was.